because there's this debate about, well, what about people who refuse to get any health insurance coverage? And there's a debate that some people have about requiring insurance companies to cover those who have pre-existing conditions. Some of them are very serious, like cancer, that it's going to be very expensive. And I wanted to get your takes on this. The issue about, well, if you make insurance companies, many of them, well, they're private insurance companies, if they have to cover pre-existing conditions, that makes the cost of insurance for everybody go up, except the other side of the token is if insurance companies don't cover these people who have pre-existing conditions, well, who's going to pay for the uncovered insured? It's going to be the taxpayers, isn't it? Right. So is it sort of, is it more expensive to treat people without insurance because they only show up in the emergency rooms, or is it less expensive to have them have good health care coverage? Well, you're in the health insurance business.
Absolutely.
So
I've been in the healthcare and health insurance business for over 25 years in Louisiana. And I can tell you, the cases where people go without health insurance, okay, and they wait until the last minute or until something becomes life-threatening, and then they go to the emergency room and then potentially end up on the operating table, that's when it becomes extremely expensive for these healthcare institutions to take care of them, and eventually taxpayers or whoever's paying for the cost of this uninsured person to go to the emergency room and then get whatever treatment they need at sort of within a situation to where it's almost too late. Now, if you take the other scenario and you look at what could potentially happen with somebody with insurance, is good insurance plans like ours and the others that participate on the federal health insurance marketplace, they're going to encourage people to have annual checkups. They're going to encourage people to take their medications, to control their hypertension, to control their diabetes, to control these disease states that could potentially become extremely life-threatening and costly for society as a whole. And what we've seen over the years is healthcare costs rising at a tremendous level over the past several years, especially. So the theory behind the Affordable Care Act and these types of insurance plans and the marketplace is that if we can get people involved with insurance plans, we can get them the early detection that they need, we can get them the medications that they need to control their disease, we can in fact keep costs down over a period of time.
Yeah.
As I've been, for the last 2 months, as I've been crisscrossing the state, working with our navigators and meeting with people all across the state, one of the things that is the biggest aha moment for people is just the realization that in Louisiana, we no longer have a charity healthcare system. Everything's been privatized now. And so I think that people need to understand that there are lots of exemptions from the Affordable Health Care Act, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be exempt from the cost that it's going to cost you should something happen to you. So we really need to work at that. Part of the Affordable Health Care Act is that there are now individual mandates, and those individual mandates in the year 2014 for one person is going to be $95 per person, up to 3 people in the family, or 1% of your income, whichever is higher, not lower. So, and then of course it's going to jump to $325 per person in year 2, which is year 2015, and then it's going to go to $695 for people in year 3, or 2016. So it's going to get higher and higher.
You're talking about the penalty, right?
I'm talking about the penalty, which is called the individual mandate.
This is the penalty.
And right. And so one of the things our navigators are able to do is to sit there and help them understand that instead of giving this money to the IRS. Let's take that and let's put that and have something for it. In the example that Jim gave, one of the things we didn't talk about for a 26-year-old is the fact that there are catastrophic plans out there that are even beyond the gold, silver, the platinum, the bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. And so these are plans that are just very basic, bare bone plans that in case something traumatic happens to you, you're covered. It does have some preventative measures, a car accident in there, you fall off the roof, putting your Christmas tree lights up, and break your leg or things like that. And what we don't want is for people to get caught into a circle that they'll never be able to get out of with healthcare bills.
And when it